you all for coming today. And I want to thank Chairman Pinnell for hosting us today and all those who have come today to be a part of our welcoming team to Governor Mitt Romney to the great state of Oklahoma. And it is my great pleasure to welcome Governor Romney, the next President of the United States, to the great state of Oklahoma. Now, Governor Romney, I'm sure you have heard that you are now in the reddest state in the nation.
Congratulations.
Senator John McCain, when he ran for president in 2008, carried every single county in the state of Oklahoma.
Wow.
And so I'm promising that I'm going to do all that I can to help you carry every county, every 77 counties in the state of Oklahoma, to help you in your presidency and your race for the President of the United States. You know, Oklahoma is a great state. We're a very conservative state, Governor. We are people who believe in the power of the individual. We believe in economic freedom. We don't believe that government solves all of our problems. And I know, Governor Romney, that you believe in the same thing. And that is why I am here today to lend my full endorsement and support of Governor Mitt Romney for President of the United States. And I'm going to do everything I can to help Governor Romney and his campaign. I know, Governor Romney, that I believe, like I think many Oklahomans believe, and many people in our nation believe, that our nation is headed on the wrong track. And we need a president who's going to get our nation back on the right track. It's critical to our future. And I know, Governor Romney, that you're going to get our nation on the right course, going in the right direction. I know that Governor Romney, as I also believe, knows that our nation is on an unsustainable financial track. We cannot sustain the spending, the debt that our nation experiences right now. He also believes, like we believe, that it's taking away our freedom as individuals and our freedom here in a free market system. You know, when President Obama came into office, he came with the promise of hope, and he came with a promise of change. And, of course, we got change. It wasn't the change that we believe in. He promised that he was going to unify our country. He also promised that he was going to create jobs and that he was going to help America be more competitive in a global economic environment. But after 4 years, it's become very apparent that the president has a different agenda that will not lead America in the direction that we believe it needs to go for economic prosperity, economic growth, and certainly does not do what it needs to do to protect our individual freedoms as individuals in our nation. His policies have failed. They have not created the type of jobs that he has promised they would create. He has not been able to reduce our deficit. In fact, our deficit's grown, as all of you know. And his policies have been to borrow, to tax, and to spend our way into prosperity. He believes, Governor, in big government. We in Oklahoma don't believe in big government. We believe in individual freedom. We believe in a competitive free market system. And now, rather than the president learning from his mistakes and his policies, now he promises he's going to give us another 4 years of what we just had. And I don't believe that's right for America. He's told us he's going to double down on his policies. So if he doubles down on his policies, what we've already been able to receive from him is an extra $4 trillion in debt in our nation. He's also brought us what I believe is many unconstitutional policies, unaffordable reforms that has not been good for our citizens, certainly not been good for our nation. He's promised us that he's going to bring us higher taxes. He's promised us that he's going to work with big labor. And he's promised us that he thinks we need more government to help control our lives. We don't believe in that. But unfortunately, I don't think that his policies that the president's initiated is going to lead us in the direction that we need to go to build a stronger, more prosperous economy, and certainly better schools and a better educated workforce either. In fact, I just don't believe that the 4 years that we have is going to take us where we need to go in the future. And so that's why we need a change in course and a direction. And that is why Governor Romney, we're going to do everything we can in Oklahoma to help you. In Oklahoma, Governor Romney, we do things differently. We're not like the rest of the nation. We are a state that was built on people who came here looking for a better life. We are a state who had people who were pioneers that believed in hard work, that believed in free market system, that believed in individual responsibility. We have people who came to Oklahoma as farmers, as small business people, as entrepreneurs, as people in the oil and gas industry. We were just talking about the strength of it. People who became engineers, that became doctors, educated in our state. People who know how to innovate, how to create jobs, how to provide and create the right type of atmosphere for prosperity. And we in Oklahoma also know that it's the private sector that helps build that strong economy, not a bigger, more intrusive federal government. Governor Romney understands this. He has spent his life helping grow free market systems, grow jobs, opportunities, helping American families support their families in a way that will be good for their future. He knows how to turn things around. He knows how to take problems and be able to find ways to bring solutions to those problems, to turn things around. And that's what we need in our next president. We need a president that's going to change the course of our nation, change the course that President Obama has set forth to us, which is the wrong direction. Governor Romney will do all this by bringing the principles of competition, and whether that relates to our free market systems, and frankly even principles that will bring us back into what our Constitution has allowed for our individual freedoms and our individual rights, whether it's on health care, whether it's on the education of our children. And Governor Romney will also help our nation steer back in the right direction as it relates to energy, and American-produced energy. And Oklahoma knows a little bit about producing energy, Governor, as you and I were just talking about. But unfortunately, President Obama has been hostile to American-made energy. He's done so many things that has held our nation back from creating those jobs, creating American economic independence, also creating our independence from foreign countries that have provided oil in the past. We in Oklahoma know how important energy is to our national security and our economic security. We have over 300,000 jobs in our state that's related to the oil and gas industry. And so I appreciate the fact that Governor Romney is willing to listen, to work with us, to solve many of these challenges that face us on our energy independence as a nation. President Obama, in my opinion, did not have the courage to do the right thing for the nation, and that is to approve the Keystone Pipeline that will help bring more energy independence to our nation. It could have brought billions of dollars into our economy, certainly created hundreds of thousands of jobs that would have benefited not only our nation, but in particular Oklahoma. Governor Romney will be a partner for us. He won't establish a government that's kind of like our boss. And he knows the appropriate role of government itself, not only in our individual lives, but certainly in our business environment. And I believe Governor Romney has both the vision and the experience and the know-how to keep America moving in the right direction. We are a great, great nation, and we need to do everything that we can to get us right back on course to be that great nation that all of us believe in. So I am here today to say that I fully endorse Governor Mitt Romney for the next President of the United States, and I'm going to do every single thing I can, Governor, to bring you votes from Oklahoma and to help you on your campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Governor Mitt Romney, our next President of the United States.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, please. Thank you. Quite an endorsement and quite a record you have in this state, Governor. And you Republicans, I know we're in Republican headquarters here, so this tends to be a very friendly audience. And I appreciate the chance to be with you today and to salute you on the changes you've brought to Oklahoma. I hope the rest of the nation is watching. Your unemployment rate is below 6%, 5.6? 5.4. Don't miss those extra 0.2. 5.4%. There are lessons here. There are lessons here. And among the lessons are these. One is to improve education to make sure that kids are getting a high-quality education, you've applied that A through F system, grading schools, putting the kind of transparency in our education system that makes the education here one that other nations look at and say it's getting better in Oklahoma. You've made Oklahoma a business-friendly state, meaning you want to bring jobs here, entrepreneurs, innovators, enterprises that will create jobs. You also have energy resources you've taken advantage of to make sure the cost of energy is reasonable in this state, and that makes it easier for manufacturing to come to Oklahoma, for businesses that use a lot of energy to say Oklahoma is a good place to locate. These things aren't mysteries. They're not real hard to understand. Good schools, good energy policies, favorable labor policies that have a fair balance between labor and management, tax policies that encourage enterprises to grow and to come to your state. These things make sense. What we're finding in Washington, however, is a president who has a very different view. I think it's harping back to the old policies of the liberal past. And those policies just don't work. I think the president is just being guided by things that have been spoken about by liberals for years and years and years that have been proved not to work. And you go through them piece by piece. The idea of raising taxes on small business, it doesn't help. It hurts jobs. He wants to raise the marginal tax rate from 35% to 40% on small business. That will kill jobs. He's also tried to change the deal between labor and management, trying to impose unions where the workers themselves are not given a right to a secret ballot. That will not attract jobs. Raising the debt in this country, the massive debt that he's amassing, that scares away investment in America. That does not create jobs. And of course, with regards to energy, on almost every front, the president has made it harder to take advantage of the energy resources we have in this nation in abundance. Coal, gas, oil, nuclear. We all like wind and solar. But we're not going to, as the governor said, we're not going to be flying airplanes with windmills on them. All right? It's got to work the other way around. And so we have to have those other resources that are low cost and abundant in this country. Now, when the president ran for office and gave his speech in Denver at the Democrat convention, he laid out the measures upon which progress would be determined. One, he said, progress would occur if we're creating jobs. He hasn't been successful doing that. His policies, these old liberal policies, have not created jobs. In fact, we've now had 39 straight months where nationally the unemployment rate is above 8%. 39 straight months. 24 million Americans out of work or stopped looking for work or in jobs well beneath their skill level. It's just a tragedy. The president also said he'd measure progress by whether people were able to pay their mortgages. Well, we've known there have been record foreclosures. He said we've measured progress by whether incomes are going up or down. The last 4 years, the median income in America has dropped 10%. Middle-class families are really feeling squeezed in this country. I've had the occasion over the last couple of years of meeting with families and talking to them about their circumstances and their lives. Some have jobs. Many have jobs. And so statistically, it looks like they're working. And you might think, well, everything must be fine because they're employed. But as I talk to them, they're working for less money. They're working in a setting where incomes have not risen. They're working at a time when gasoline prices are up, where the cost of health care is up, the cost of food is up, and they're having tough times. This is not a glorious, delightful time for the American people in the middle class, and they need help. There was one more promise the president made. The president said he was going to invest $150 billion into green energy and create 5 million jobs. Have you seen those here? I haven't seen those. As a matter of fact, since 2009, there's some 10,000 fewer jobs in the wind energy field than there were. And guess which part of the energy sector has actually grown? Oil and gas. Oil and gas has grown by 75,000 jobs. Now the president tries to take a victory lap and say, well, look, I'm producing more oil and gas now that I'm president. That'd be like me saying that I take responsibility for the Red Sox winning the World Series when I was governor. I'm afraid either one of us deserve that credit. In the president's case, he's done almost everything in his power to make it harder to take advantage of our natural gas, our coal, our oil, and nuclear. And so he certainly can't take credit for the fact that the policies of his predecessor made federal lands more available for drilling. The president's actually proposed on western lands to cut back on licenses for drilling by some 75%. And as you know, he said no to the Keystone Pipeline. I have a very different vision in mind. I do not believe in the old liberal policies of the past. I believe America needs a new, dynamic, bold vision for the future. It is... Part of that vision includes energy. Look, I want to explore the resources we have, both offshore and onshore, for energy. I want to provide licenses, more licenses, and permits for drilling for oil and gas on federal lands. I want to make sure that we drill in Anwar, the Outer Continental Shelf, that we once again encourage drilling in the Gulf of Mexico. And I will certainly make sure that we connect to the Keystone Pipeline. No, we're not going to connect to Cylinder. That's the other guy did. To the Keystone Pipeline from Canada. If I have to build it myself, we're going to get that Keystone Pipeline and get the energy in this country. I do have Cylinder on my mind. There's no question about that. Because the president's policies, of course, were to invest that $150 billion in places like Cylinder and Fisker and Tesla. Tesla's making cars now, high-end sports cars. They manufacture them in Finland. And, of course, Cylinder's out of business. His green energy policy has not worked. My policy will be very different. So part one will be on energy, a very different approach to energy. Part two is making sure we have a level playing field between labor and management. We take those labor stooges out of the National Labor Relations Board. Number three is to have tax policies that encourage small business. So rather than raising the tax on small business from 35 to 40%, I'll bring it down to 28% to encourage businesses to grow and invest and hire people here in this country. And finally, one more. With regards to health care, you see, old school liberals believe that any time there's a problem, government can step in and run things better than can free people and free enterprises. They're wrong. And Obamacare is the dream come true of old school liberals. One of the first things I'll do if I become president is to repeal and replace Obamacare and return health care to our citizens. I happen to believe that if we put in place the kinds of policies I've just described, that you're going to see a resurgence of manufacturing in this country. That enterprises that sent jobs overseas in the past are going to start bringing jobs back home. I don't have a pessimistic view about the future of America. I believe in America. I believe in the entrepreneurial, innovative spirit of the American people. I believe in the productivity of the American workforce. I believe those things, combined with a government that encourages the private sector rather than dampens it, will allow enterprises to come back to this country and grow. We've led the world. You look at how we live our lives now. We send messages on iPads. We take pictures with cell phones. We work on virtual marketplaces, selling things that we don't even see. Our best friends include people on Facebook we don't even know. And these things were all invented here in America. The rest of the world isn't inventing these things. We're an innovative, inventive people. Those skills, combined with those other great resources we have, promise that America will continue to be the economic powerhouse of the world if we get government to be the ally of the people, of free people and free enterprises. I love America. I love the people of America. I'm confident in our future. The president's made some bad choices. He's taken us in a course which is reminiscent of the old liberal policies of the past. And the people of America are disappointed in where it's ended. But we're going to bring America back. And much of what you've learned right here with the policies of conservatism are policies I want to bring to Washington. I believe in this great land. And together we're going to take it back and get it right. Thank you so much. Great to be with you. Thank you. Now, I want to get a chance, and the governor and I want to get a chance to say hi to you and shake your hands. And this is not such a huge crowd that we wouldn't be able to do that. But I do know that a couple of members of the media have asked for a chance to ask a question or two, and we'll let you do that if you'd like to do that.
Governor Romney, President Obama endorsed same-sex marriage today that you respond to?
I have the same view on marriage that I had when I was governor, and that I've expressed many times. I believe marriage is a relationship between a man and a woman.
Can you tell us what rights you think same-sex couples should be able to enjoy?
States are able to make decisions with regards to domestic partnership benefits, such as hospital visitation rights, benefits and so forth of various kinds, could be determined state by state. But my view is that marriage itself is a relationship between a man and a woman, and that's my own preference. I know other people have differing views. This is a very tender and sensitive topic, as are many social issues. But I have the same view that I've had since running for office. Thank you. I'm sorry? I believe that based upon the interview that he gave today on ABC, it said that he had changed his view. But you're a better judge of that than I. I just saw the reports that he had previously said he opposed same-sex marriage, and now according to ABC News, he's saying that he supports it. So if that's the case, then you'll be able to make that determination on your own.
Thank you, Governor.
Thanks, you guys. Governor, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.